Okay. My name is David. I am the director of the film Bad Axe. It's an incredibly personal story because it's a film that's about my family. It's a story of hope, resilience, and really what the American dream looks like in the year 2020. My mother, she's Mexican American, and my dad is a Cambodian refugee that came here during after the killing fields in 1979. And you really get to see what it takes as a family to build the American dream, and then what it takes to keep that same dream alive, in the face of one of the most uncertain times in recent history, and what it means to be a family and get through, this year of reckoning together. So.
Um, yeah, no, moving back home and having kind of the whole family under one roof again as, grown adults, it was enduring
A
such an
challenge.
uncertain, yeah, it was a challenge at first, but everything was so uncertain. So owning, a restaurant where who would have thought that in the snap of a finger, we were ordered to shut down the dining, no dining. It's not like we had really done takeout before or anything. And, you kind of just see all the hard work of years, because we weren't always successful in the restaurant. It took us a good 17, 18 years to finally start feeling like, we weren't drowning. So to suddenly have all that at risk again, it was really scary for, all of us, because we're worried about our family and our health, and the safety of our family. But then also this whole, like, what if we lose the restaurant? Because that was a very realistic fear at that time when we all, when we were all at home and trying to figure out, okay, how do we move forward and do we do? And I mean, I think obviously my dad can speak to this better, but my dad, having lived through kind of craziness before, he took it to a whole nother level of, he had always said in Cambodia, he was never afraid of dying, because he just didn't have that fear. I don't know, you can speak more to that then, but it was different this time around, kind of going through the uncertainty and now having children, and worrying about us as a family and how we're going to get through this. So,
You know, I since now I listened to David was explaining a little bit about Bad Axe and Jacqueline talking about the restaurant, and I just want to share my story a little bit. How this whole family was coming to Bad Axe. Like I say, coming from Cambodia, it's about 43 years ago, during the right after the killing field. As myself, as a refugee without country, without home, I have lost 7 members of my family during the Khmer Rouge regime, and from 1975 to 1979 before we got out of the country. And then when we moved to, when we was like a refugee that was granted by President Carter at the time in 1979 to come here to this country as a permanent resident, sponsored by the United States of America. And the town of Romeo, Michigan was back then was pretty quiet. There's a lot of agriculture, a lot of orchards and things like that. And as the family began to grow, I'm kind of like, you know what? Now the town began to grow as well. And I see that Bad Axe was come into the picture through my wife's side of the family. It was quite challenging, but yet also a lot of happiness at the same time, because since Romeo, Michigan beginning to grow, Bad Axe feels like Romeo 20-something years ago. That's how Rachel and I, we brought the family to Bad Axe to start a business over there. And, needless to say, here we are sitting here talking about refugee, talking about moving. And, my thoughts and prayer today, after what I've been through, I'm going to say, God, look at the people of Ukraine right now. It just reminds me so much of Cambodia 43 years ago, when I have to just pack up, which is a pack of clothes, running through the middle of the night, get out of the country, left your home, left your country. So it's just, when I'm talking about the story of my life, it reflects me to what's happening today that we're going through. And I just want to let the world know that my thoughts and prayer to those people. And I'm hoping that they continue to have hope that life will get better.